Today we are in Tyler, Texas here, headquarters of ASAP Roofing and Construction. Really excited to do this contractor showcase and give you guys an inside peek to one of the most innovative contractors in the nation and one of the fastest growing contractors in the nation. ASAP's only been around for a few years and already they have this amazing facility, a huge team of employees and staff members, and they're serving all of East Texas as well as a ton of other markets. So today we're gonna learn all about them and what makes ASAP Roofing so special. Let's go check them out. Where's Klint Koppel?
He doesn't exist.
Right. Come on now.
Right here.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
Good. How you
Good to see you.
Yeah.
And I know we're at ASAP Roofing, so there's always cameras everywhere, dude.
Always.
Always.
At my hotel,
He used to
cameras
it.
are always on.
So, dude, how are you doing, man?
Good.
Good. So good to be here in Tyler, and the place looks awesome. Everything looks really cool. I love this building and you guys' mission and everything that you're doing here. It's a lot of fun, but let's talk about the cameras for a minute real quick.
Yeah.
I know Steven's here, and he's kind of the man behind the cameras here.
Yep.
For most roofing contractors, you don't typically see like 3 or 4 cameras in their office all day long, but for you guys are expecting us, and you guys have these guys ready to go. But let's talk a little bit about that. I want to introduce Steven and kind of why you guys do that, because it's not normal for most roofing contractors.
We're not normal, that's for sure. But yeah, we just do it because we know that, I mean, the culture here is so great that we can always capture something, and we really know that, you know, the culture is what we need to show. So that's really what we focus on, and be able to capture those moments that aren't scripted, aren't acted, aren't us trying to make us seem like we're great or anything like that. It's the real moment that we like to show. So.
And what's the purpose of that though for a roofing contractor?
Well, for us, it really helps us connect with our community, show them that we're real people. It shows everyone that we're having fun and we're still professional at the same time. And I mean, it kind of helps defeat the old thought of a contractor being, you know, grumpy, upset all the time, late, all the stereotypical contractor. And it shows them that we're real people who are the same way they are. And it kind of lets them know who we are before we're at the door.
Shows them the backside to everything, you know.
So
We like to have fun, we're real human beings, we have emotions and feelings.
We were gonna
just like they
airport
do.
you when you walked in, but I didn't get the airport to pick it up.
that's pretty typical. The pranks around here are always happening. So.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have fun with it.
I got 2 scare videos today already. I'll go. Ready to go.
We also got Joseph Kozel.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
see you, brother.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing, man?
Good, doing well, staying busy.
Cool, dude.
Trying to build this
You wanna
thing.
walk around, take a look at everything?
Yeah, let's do a tour and then we'll talk a little about the culture and the business and what makes ASAP so special.
Awesome.
Cool.
Check it. We have a little area here where people, when they're coming in, they just want to sit down, wait for someone to come up, one of the sales reps. But right now we've got a little incentive that we're doing.
Little $1,000 check sitting up there.
Yeah, we can get on the most roofs in the next 7 days and do
Nice.
inspections, and yeah, so it's a company-wide deal. So, you know, it's just fun to you always got to keep it
Clint's
spicy.
biggest deer he ever
Oh,
shot.
come on now. That was actually, we do an white elephant gift every year at Christmas with our Christmas party. And that was actually in a bag, and yeah, I happened to grab a black bag, and lo and behold, there's a deer head in it. So I said, well, what better spot than in the room where everyone sits and waits to talk to someone, you know? So yeah, we'll put that up on the
It's a
wall.
nice little deer.
We are in
Right.
East Texas.
That's
you
a
know.
Texas deer, right? That's the size they are.
Yeah, that's like
It's about right for East
It's
Texas.
like a huge East Texas deer, man. Front office. This is where Nancy does all the crazy stuff she does, answering phones, taking care of people, making customers that are upset happy, and making happy customers even happier.
That's cool.
Commercial estimator. We've got Brian. He sits in here, evaluates up everything he's doing as far as
Out
commercial.
estimating right now.
Yeah, he's
Probably.
out right now. And then
Yeah.
Aaron's office, he's over here. He's the other commercial estimator. He works with the commercial team, does stuff. He's been doing this a little while. And
Man, everyone
he
like
loves it.
disappeared. Saw the cameras.
They're
down
working.
left. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Fair
not like
enough.
Starbucks, right? Like
You gotta work.
everyone's sitting at your office. There's something wrong. We got the repair division right behind us over here. We didn't go in
Nobody
there,
in
but
there either.
got 6 people out doing that right now.
Cool.
Office managers. She's on the phone. I don't want to bother her, but we've got 2 office managers in here taking care of business, doing stuff. We've got Money Mullins right here.
You gotta get money.
Get money
You gotta
in
show
the
money.
camera here.
Really?
Yeah, she does the important stuff on the back end, making sure our money's right and getting everything in the door that needs to come in.
That's
Got Roy, the COO, Carrington over here hanging out. These guys are the head of production. They make sure everything's taken care of on the production side.
Cool, man.
Yep,
Cool.
yep. So we'll come back in here. So this is kind of like the back area where Joseph's office, my office is at. A lot of owners, if there's dual owners, they'll kind of have their separate offices. But we believe being right next to each other.
Let's get the full experience. So let's.
You
want me to sit down?
Yeah, I want the full
I'm
experience.
already
here.
short enough, John. Come on.
Yeah.
Who wants to tell the story? I mean, there's a great story behind this company. I'm sure every company has a cool story, but I kind of know your guys' already, and it's always cool to hear it again, though.
My background, growing up was doing construction. As a child, I worked for my grandfather, and then moved to Utah. Did a lot of roofing out there, and then moved out here to Texas. Things didn't work out in Utah the way we expected. I actually tried to get out of the roofing industry into something else, and that didn't work. The company I started working for was doing a lot of legal stuff and got shut down, and I didn't know it, right? So had no place to turn. I quit my roofing job. I lost everything I had, and my parents had moved out to Texas, so I said, well, let's go out there. We came out here and started working for a gentleman, real nice gentleman, and started basically helping him run his roofing company. Ultimately, it's kind of funny. We were supposed to take over that company. You'd always say, I want you to have it one day. I want you to have it. And he said, nah, don't tell me that. I'll do what I'm doing. And he ended up passing away. One thing led to the next. It just didn't work out, and for good reason. Obviously, I mean, we're doing great these days, And we started ASAP, and Joseph wasn't in the picture at that point. And we had called him. At the very end of this other company, before this gentleman passed away, I started thinking, I need someone out here that can help. Well, he passed away. I was still running this other company with a couple other people, and I started contacting Joseph saying, man, can you come out? Can you come out? Can you come out? And he kept telling me, dude, there's no way I'm moving to Texas. And the reason why I want him so bad, I mean, it's kind of ironic. I know but a lot of people don't know, like, I'm married to his sister, right? So my wife, and it's her brother, and he's got a business degree, and I was like, man, he's the perfect candidate. Like, I know people say stay away from family and business, but I mean, we can pull this off. We can do it, right? And I didn't know for sure, but I just assumed we could. I've got good morals, integrity. I knew he did. My wife does. So I kept bugging him, and I'll let him kind of finish the story from there. But I mean, that's kind of in the beginning of where it got started. And then trying to get him to come out here, and he kept swearing up and down he wouldn't come out, and then I'll let you kind of explain the rest.
Yeah, so where I kind of come in is, like you said, I got a business degree, so I was in San Diego still. 2014 is when he first flew me out here and tried to get me to come out and work with him, and like you said, my response was like, dude, it's not for me. Like, Texas is not for me. Like, cool place and everything, but I'll never move there. Like, thanks for the opportunity, but I'm going back. And I went back to California and just struggled for a year, working 3 jobs to make ends meet. The cost of living's insane. I'm young and still, going out and partying and doing stupid stuff. And he called me about a year after the first time I came, and I was still doing the same things, and I was just ready for a change. And basically took a couple days to think about it and decided to make the move and take the trip halfway across the country and make the move. And it's kind of funny because in life there's always these like moments that you can look back on that are kind of like, that was a defining moment in my life, which kind of changed everything for me. And it's one of those moments in my life I'll always be able to look back on and be like, I took that risk there, and that's kind of what changed everything for me and changed the course of where I ended up or what I did. But so yeah, I moved out, and we partnered up, and I was working with him for a few months at another business, and it didn't work out like he said. I think I was there for 4 or 5 months before we started ASAP, and then it was kind of, you get into fight or flight mode or survive or die, and we only had one option. I mean, at that point I was single, I didn't have any kids or anything, but Klint had his kids, and there really wasn't the option to die. It was only survive. That was the only mode we had, and so we started it out and did what we could do to kind of set out on the path we are now. And we had a big vision, but now that we've been in it for a few years, it's crazy how much the vision changes as you grow and as you bring in such great people around you and you meet other people in the industry like yourself and other people that we've met, our mentors like Mike O'Day and things like that, how your vision can constantly snowball into this huge thing to now we look back at what we said our first initial goal, like we just talked about at lunch, like what we said our first initial goal was when we first set out, and that seems minute to us now. Like I can't believe we were thinking that small at that point. And so it's kind of been a fun journey to see what we can accomplish in such a small amount of time and where we can be if we continue on the kind of trajectory that we're on.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
How long has it been now? So 5 years?
5 years?
Yeah.
5 years. So let's talk about this stuff for a minute. So you guys are 5 years in. You guys are definitely 8 figures, over 10 million in revenue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to go into the
Right.
But you guys are well over 10 million.
Yep.
What makes, and you're also in East Texas. East Texas there's a ton of roofers here. Texas in general, there's a ton of roofers, but here you are. How many people work here today?
Okay, total company-wide?
Total company-wide.
Total company-wide, including everyone's, that's over 100.
Over 100
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then individually that affects all their families and everything else.
Right.
I think a year ago we asked everybody how many kids they had and stuff, and it was over 300 people, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
Now it's probably over 500.
Not including extended families that are affected. Everyone,
Right.
at the end of the day, you guys affect tons of lives. But at the end of the day, like, how did you achieve that in only 5 years?
Obviously there's a lot. That's a loaded question. There's a lot to that.
What would you say the most important aspect of it
The most
was?
important aspect of that would be defining our values, where we come from.
Boom.
Right? Like I remember, in the beginning of this deal, I'm sitting there trying to figure out new ways to make money. And when I say new ways, I'm not talking about businesses. I didn't have money. We didn't have ASAP. We were broke, and even after I moved out to Texas to try to start over and figure things out, I was going to pawn shops. Like I drive by a pawn shop all the time, and it almost brings me to tears because, dude, I'd go to that pawn shop and I'd have to really figure out what tools am I going to need for the next 2 weeks at work, working for this other guy when I first moved out here. What tools do I need and what tools can I take to that pawn shop to just get a little bit of money? And then I've got 2 weeks to go back in and pay him that money back with interest to get my tools back so I could use them 2 weeks later, right? Like I'm literally planning out what tools do I need for the next 2 weeks so I can at least go and get a loan, what they call a loan, with damn near 100% interest on that loan, and then get my tools back, right? So just finding insane ways to at least get by so I could feed my kids, I could feed my wife. And then the worst part is I don't hide shit from my wife. Like I'm an open book. I tell her everything, right? But there were certain things that I didn't tell her, and it were some of those things, right? Like she doesn't even, to this day, doesn't even know some of the shit I had to do to make money. And it's not that I told her to hid it from her. I told it because I didn't want her to stress out like I was stressing out, right? So we define where we are nowadays by looking back at what we had to do to get where we are, and realizing some of the people that walk in our door with their best outfit on, with a smile on their face that's fake as hell, trying to just act like they're worth it and they can work for us and they're of value, but deep down they're scared. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They have no money, but they're putting on this front just trying to get in front of someone that'll give them an opportunity. And I think we clearly understand that, and we give everyone the same opportunity. We give them a chance. We've built training systems. We've invested a lot of money into our people to give them the best possible chance possible to get them to grow. And I think that's really the one thing that's helped us get to where we are, and people see that. We're very transparent about that. We really do care about our people, and we really care about helping them get to who they are and growing and becoming something and then moving on. We're not a company of just keeping people here and trapping them here all the time. We want them, if they want to stay here and grow and move in the organization, because there's plenty of money in it, they can. But if they just want to come here and find out how to get somewhere they need to be in life or how to get there quicker, we give them the tools to acquire that, and then they can be on their way. And that's really the defining thing about our organization, and really the true way that we've become successful, I believe.
That's what makes you guys special.
Yeah.
The fact, it's all about your people.
Yeah.
It's not about Klint and JoJo and Leeann and the team. It's about the people that work here and are a part of this day in and day out.
The more people you help in life, the more successful you'll become. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. It doesn't have to necessarily just be roofs. We just happen to sell roofs.
Yeah.
We're a self-development company. We just tell people what it took us a long time to learn. We're trying to speed it up for them so they don't have to go through the same shit we went through.
Yeah, and the more and more we do these, like, it's the same common theme. The successful companies, it's all about their people.
Yep.
It's all about investing in them, building the processes, giving them the tools. Because let's be honest, like if you go work for a roofing company, and you know the majority of them don't have processes, they don't have systems, they don't have ways that can lead you to success. But you guys, that's probably integral to the success of the people that work here.
Yeah, and the word success, really, it doesn't come down to finances or money. A lot of people think all business owners only care about their bottom line. I believe not all business owners care about their bottom line. I believe the majority of them do. And that's their number one, unfortunately. But I do believe there are a significant amount of business owners out there that's not their number one. Their number one really is educating and helping others, and their bottom line comes in second. Now, knowing as a business owner, your bottom line is extremely important, because without meeting the numbers you need to meet, you're not able to help anyone, including yourself. So it is very valuable that they do hit the bottom line, but there are quite a few business owners out there that really do care about the people that come into their organizations, and they're very easy to identify. You can tell just by looking at them and listening to them talk.
I agree. Well, let's see the rest of this place.
Yeah,
I want to
let's
see
check it out.
where people become developed.
Well, we've got a little gym right here. We're actually in the middle of remodeling it. It's not.
This morning, just say it.
Yeah, I mean,
How important is this room to you guys, to your company, to people that work here?
Some people use it, some people don't, but you gotta realize it's not, like you said, we're a self-development company, but your body is just as important as your mind. I mean, you have to maintain a healthy lifestyle, both physically, mentally, emotionally. There's a lot of balance that needs to happen there, and taking care of your body is a huge part of that. It's funny because if you come to the gym in the morning, you feel a lot more energized throughout the day than if you sleep in and you're more groggy.
100%.
So coming in and hitting this thing in the morning, it energizes you for your day. And I can say, you know, there's times where I'm not great about it and times I'm great about it. You'll see me every day in the morning here, but not only feeds your body and your mind, but it also invigorates your people to see somebody dedicated to coming in here. You can tell with sales reps and things like that are going to be really strong with what they do if they're in the gym every morning, because if you can have dedication to one thing and discipline in one area, that's most likely going to transcend to all the other areas of your life, not just your body. So it's a good identifier for us as well.
I like it.
yep. Let's check out some other stuff. Conference room.
This room is awesome, man.
Yeah. So I mean, we just extended it out. So when we were down in that gym, you know, I said there was a ceiling that we extended out, and then this is the other half that we just pulled out further. We ran out of room. I mean, that's the wrong
Used
line.
to end like right here.
Yep.
It just wasn't enough room for when we have big events and we bring in guest speakers, things like that, to come in and train our people. We couldn't fit everybody in here anymore, and it just got too tight, and so we needed to expand to be able to fit all of our contractors, which if every single guy we had working here came, this room wouldn't be big enough. But
How many people can fit here now?
62.
62.
Plus a couple, but 62 chairs.
62
right
chairs
now.
comfortably.
We could make more fit, but we try to keep it somewhere around 50, if possible.
Right.
If possible, but well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we did a
it is
meeting
what it
in
is.
January, and every
This
single
is
chair
a
was full.
huge investment, though.
It's
To
a good
create a
investment,
room
yeah.
like this is a big investment. This is something that very few contractors have a room like this, a training room like this.
Well, the thing is, like this room, the whole room didn't exist. When we first
whole
got this
upstairs.
building, that door right there, the white door, you'd come out that white door and this whole thing was just a wood deck. None of this even existed. We had to add on, but the whole thing was just bare, right? And so like standardized, we could have ran 20, 30 people out of this location with what we had, right? But we
It's just most
wanted,
people think a roofing company, it's just going to be tools and trucks and warehouses and getting work done. This is like a classroom. Like this is a university. Like this is a nice room.
We host events
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
Like we host events for real estate agents and and things like that, and they'll come through the front door and they'll be blown away. Like, I was expecting to walk into a warehouse with chairs set out in the back of the warehouse, and this is not what I was expecting at all. And so now we've had other companies literally reach out to us about renting this room or being able to host events here because they see the value of coming in here and doing their continuing education classes and things like that. And it's valuable to us to form those partnerships with them and let them come in, and we'll have our guys present and they'll bring a room full of people and we get to network with them, but they're in our home and we're more comfortable in our home. You know, everybody is. So it's definitely a big advantage having a place where people want to come to you instead of you trying to go to them or beg them to come to you. Like they literally call us and ask if they can come to us.
No, it's cool. I mean, it's worked out. We have a lot of people come and speak, and we get up and speak. We call our people to come up and speak, but that's the thing, really. I mean,
how often are people in this room?
It like twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah. So we have a main Monday morning meeting every Monday. So we'll have this room filled, and then we've got all of our other branches. We'll put them up on these screens.
So they're coming in from outside too. So they're being piped into this room.
Right. Yeah. So the other 13 branches, they'll be up on the screens as well. So they can see us. We can see them. We communicate. We've got a big meeting, and we're able to collaborate with the other teams. They're able to collaborate with this team. And it's just one big network, and it's all facilitated basically through here and through Zoom, to where we can all communicate and have a big meeting. And then later on in the week, we've got manager meetings that take place up here for every manager, for every branch. Those take place here and on Zoom. And then we've got every quarter we have big meetings to where we'll have special speakers come in that we either pay or certain consultants that we have come in and talk. And it's a good way to constantly give them new value, right? Like if they just heard Joseph, myself, and a couple of the other leaders talking all the time, it might not be the same information, but it's the same people delivering different information, and that can get old to people that have been here a few years. Whereas we have brand new, fresh people come in, it's not only entertaining and great for them to learn, but it's also good for us, right? So it's kind of a perk that we have, to where now we're able to say, hey, let's get trained by someone amazing, and it's going to be a tax write-off because we're bringing this person in for our team, right? So it works out for everybody, and it works out for the person coming in to consult because they're getting paid for the deal too. So it's a good system to have. It's a good system to implement in any business.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. This is really cool.
Yep.
In most companies, like I said, they don't have this.
Yeah.
You know, they're meeting out in their warehouse, or like he was saying, you got a bunch of chairs set up out in their shop, and they don't have this type of room where it's dedicated to development. And this is cool.
Yeah, I got a phone call this morning actually about another company owner. He wants to fly all his sales guys out here and hire a really good consultant that's pretty well known. I don't want to say it right now, but he wants to hire him out here and basically pay for the deal, and then we host it here with his team and our team.
That'd be cool.
So he can get around our team, we can be around his team, and we have the consultant come in. So I mean, it opens up so much opportunity that you don't think of, right?
Collaboration in the roofing industry?
Yeah.
My goodness. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
This is cool though.
We'll go over here, we'll check out the sales area, the desk. So over here, we just have some of the desks that, you know, we'll have new hires come in, or we'll have people that don't use the desk all the time. They'll come in and just use the desk to fill out paperwork. People utilize it for training, like her, using it for training.
Now.
Look, it's Joseph on the computer.
It's me.
Yeah, filling out a scope sheet. So, I mean, we obviously, when you are bringing people in and saying, hey, you've got to do this, that, and the other thing, you have to give them a place to be able to do this, that, and the other thing, right?
Right.
So some of these desks, we've had guys say, hey, I want a permanent desk, we'll give them a permanent desk. Some of the desks are just shared desks where people come in, they fill out their stuff, and they go. A lot of our CRMs and different things are all done on tablets or done on, you know, the cloud, wherever that cloud exists, I don't know, but they can do everything remotely, you know, so they may just need a spot to sit for 10, 15 minutes, do some paperwork, and meet with a homeowner. So it's worked out real well.
This is really awesome to have this and the training room. I mean, you study in here and you go in there and learn more stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
And, you know, we're walking by other offices, but we've got some other things. This is our recruiting office. This is Crystal. Say hi, Crystal.
Hi guys.
Hey. She handles all the new hires, all the recruiting, stuff like that, and she does a good job.
That's cool, dude.
Yep,
Thank
yep.
you.
That's super cool.
Now we're roofing again. So we have the metal machines over here, right? We'll stamp our own metal, our panel machine. We've got a brake, we've got a shear. It's not too fancy, but it's definitely enough to be able to run our own metal roofing if we need to. We've got extra supplies and different things like that that we may need.
Really cool truck back there.
Ooh, yeah, we got to get that too.
Yeah, a little Tonka
could
truck
just-
back there.
I just now saw that.
For sale, $15. $15, no buyer.
Well, you know, I think ACS needs an old truck,
There you go.
and I've been really thinking about that.
That look pretty cool. With
Wouldn't that
ACS.
look cool with ACS on it? Wrapped in, you know.
Oh yeah.
See, you had to, wrap yours to make it look old and rusty.
I know.
That one's
That's
already, that one's got it covered
We're in the
already.
middle of some transition right now, and I'm thinking we may change that up. But
Little mock roof for
what
our
are,
new
what are
guys.
these for? On
So
the
we
floor.
did a team exercise.
Team
Jojo, you
building.
can explain.
Is this like 4 square, but like
Kinda.
16 square?
No, we had like I just talked about up there, we did a big training with all of our branches in January. And we had some, I brought everybody out here for about an hour and a half of the training, and we did team building exercises. So we had a team building exercise. Basically, this was a maze that they had to get through, like a minefield. And they had to walk through without blowing up any mines and work together as a team to figure out the pattern. And it was just kind of a cool little team building exercise we did that got the people working together. And
My team won, by the way, just for the record.
All right. If it was a Chevy, no.
yeah, I have a
It's a
Dodge.
Dodge.
It's a
so I had
Dodge,
to buy
though.
a Dodge. But
Dodge
that's the thing.
100.
That's the Dodge D100. That's the thing, is you don't see a lot of Dodge
No, you
classic
don't.
trucks like this. They're a lot
That's what I'm
more
saying.
rare. You see a lot of the Fords and the Chevys, but the Dodges are pretty rare in terms of seeing an old school Dodge and then finding one that's, it's not perfectly restored,
Is
but
it
it's
for
pretty
sale?
well restored. I've been debating it, but I haven't even.
I love the color of the
I
interior.
haven't even got my title yet, so I haven't even really been able to drive it around that much because I don't have the license plates on it or anything yet. Still waiting on my title to come in, but it's restored old, like classic, a lot of the original stuff. And it's kept pretty original. It's not restored like a lot of the new people do where they put modern stuff in it. It's pretty much all original.
All right, so we got some metal machines here.
Yep.
So you're running metal here?
Yep.
I see a panel in there.
Yep.
You guys do.
In squares?
Just in general,
in
like,
this
no.
area, we're looking, you probably, in this one machine probably stamps up maybe 2,000, 3,000 squares. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
We'll still order a bunch of metal in packages. We are looking at doing a couple different things as far as getting another machine and.
Do you stamp out metal for other people too?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know.
No, we're trying to be very respectful. We've definitely had multiple people ask us, but we do try to be respectful and not cross that line. Our suppliers are good to us, so we try to give them the same respect and be respectful of them.
But then you guys started a supply house too, right?
Right.
Well, let's go drive over there and check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go look at it.
All right. So if I'm a salesperson, I work at ASAP, what do I do? Just come over here and get material, get my stuff like I would at ABC or anywhere else, right?
Yeah, so we turned it into like kind of a perk and incentive, right? Like, so,
Finish your training.
when we buy shit like a clipboard, we don't mark it up at all. Like literally, we'll buy it in bulk. We get it as cheap as we can get it as a company, and
Right.
then we'll basically turn around and give it to the guys for exactly what we got it for. We're not trying to make money off our guys. It's more of a perk, like work for us, and
And you
You're gonna
get
get
wasp and
benefits.
hornet killer.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you got it.
That's essential in
That's
Texas.
on the list.
Yeah.
Summer, that's
So-
essential.
And they'll come in and they'll say, hey, we need, soapstone, or we need, PPE, whatever it is, and we'll get it in real quick for them. So,
That's
we
cool.
try to cater to them, and then we're doing like a new thing where new hires, we haven't started this yet, but we've discussed it and we're ruling this out. We're just trying to figure out how to do it. So like new hires would come in, they'll get a token when they graduate the training, because we have a training program. They'll come in, they'll get like their own bag, right? So
Right.
the token, they'll get a bag, they'll get a hard hat, they'll get soapstone, they'll get,
Tape measure, cotton gun, hammer.
basically all the essentials to be able to do a proper inspection. They've already been trained. Now they know how to do it. They just need the right tools. So they'll come over here, then they get the right tools, and it's basically for them to be able to go out and start doing what they need to do.
That's cool.
So it's just, it makes it a lot easier for someone that's trying to make it, that doesn't have the funds or the means or the know-how or know anyone in the industry, to come
Yeah.
in, get the training, and then get the proper tools to be able to do the job. So it
It's
it
cool.
works out pretty good.
And all your accessories, all your vents, all your step flashings, all that stuff's here.
Yep.
Yeah. If we run out or we need something special, that's where the other
Ventilation
stuff
back
was. The
here.
stockpile back at the other supply house.
Yeah.
Just pull it over here real quick. But we're getting ready to ramp up. I mean, right now we're actually kind of low. I mean, we've got, I think, not even 5 pallets. Yeah.
Well, in just a few weeks. I mean, they're talking storms this week. They're talking who knows what.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the winter stuff backlogs starting to pile up. You guys ready to roll?
Yeah. When you start out to do this and you have supply companies coming to you saying, why are you going to do that, man? You're going to lose money. You shouldn't do that. Everyone I know that's done that, they've lost money. That's kind of a sign. Like, you're really trying hard to talk me out of this right now.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's more the time because there's a point where we just had so many issues on our jobs, and it's
Yeah.
not only frustrating to them, but our crews, our sales reps. I mean, there's nothing shittier as a sales rep than starting your day in the wrong shingle color being on your job, or there's no synthetic or no starter strip because you can't do anything until those things are there. And so, especially if the job's an hour away, it's just that kills momentum. It kills their energy and everything. So that, and then like he was talking earlier, we're set up to where people can't get the shingles that we get right now in this town, and we have enough of them on our lot at almost all times to be able to do the next month worth of roofs, and other guys can't even get one to do 30 squares of roof. So it gives us a little more leverage with the
Better
manufacturers
get
too.
some cameras out here. They're gonna be jumping over the fence. out
Yeah,
there all the
exactly.
time.
We got them. We got the cameras for sure. But
It's good to have Hunter Ballou with us from Cornerstone and SIRC now, and roofing community and all the other stuff you're doing. But you know, this is a really cool business. I'm gonna say, like, I travel around the nation. I look at a lot of different companies. This is special. You know, I did an interview with his company, and I felt the same way. Like, there's so much co-mindedness as far as what you guys are doing. Is that a word, co-mindedness?
It is now.
Sure.
I mean,
If you say
You're an
it,
innovator.
it's a word.
I'm an innovator. I'm a visionary.
it's an urban dictionary.
You're amazing, John.
Someone's gonna put that on there now. No, but for real, like, there's just so much that you guys do that's really similar, and the culture and the way things are. How important has that been for you guys and your guys' success?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, right? I think that culture is kind of this trendy word now that everybody likes to talk about. How do you build culture? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I think for like a lot of us coming up, that are a little bit younger, we just do it naturally because we care about people. You know, it's not like we're looking at the Googles or the Amazons and trying to copy them. We just care about people. And so I think it just comes more naturally for us. But I mean, I could say kind of the same thing as John. Like, we go to roofing companies all over the place, and you guys have something special, so it's cool to see. You know, I don't think it's an issue to recruit for you guys, no matter what city you're in. They can look at your buildings, they can look at your leadership, they can look at your team and the success your team's had, and know that you guys are going to take care of them. So that makes it easy to recruit and easy to continue scaling your company. So I can appreciate that for sure.
Yep.
What do you guys think is next for ASAP?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot there, but I mean, in reality, we pride ourselves on our growth rate. I mean, we like to believe that we grow pretty quickly. Our biggest goal right now really is just to double the size of the company over the next year. Not just because of revenue, but because there's a lot of people out there that need more opportunity right now more than ever, right? And we just want to bring a lot of people in and really just get the word out. Like, we are a company of leaders building leaders and giving people more opportunity. And I think the more that you showcase that, the more that you really push that out there, you have people helping one another, and before you know it, you're not even the one that's having to sit there anymore and look at it and try to control it. They're actually wanting to be a part of that and do it for you and help. And just it's one huge family. So really just grow the family and just help a lot more people. I mean, that's the biggest thing right now.
That's really cool. I think it's evident in what you're doing, though. People are comfortable here. They're happy to be here. There's that camaraderie that is hard to find in roofing companies, and it's funny though. You know, Hunter, you and I talk about this all the time, but we go to these companies and it's not about how many squares you put on. It's not about how many millions of dollars you did. It's not about, you know, what markets, how many offices you guys have. It's about how many people you have and how many lives you're touching.
Yep.
And when you focus on that stuff, which that is kind of different compared to what things were 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago in construction, especially. Construction's all about production.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about how much can you produce, how fast can you produce, and how much money you can make. But this is different. And this is, how evident, Hunter, do you think this is going to be for the future and for the growth of these companies?
Yeah, man, I mean, the industry's obviously changing. I mean, we can see that every day. I've only been in the industry for a few years and recently had some shakeups with my business in Cornerstone and moving to a different role. And I mean, you can see it all over the place. The guys that are coming in, I mean, how long have you guys been in business?
5 years.
5 years.
A little over 5 years.
And one of the fastest growing companies, definitely in your area, but even probably the state of Texas. And not just like, hey, we got a hailstorm, we did a lot of money, but sustainable growth, predictable income, and building systems, building processes, building people. And so you can't beat that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'd like to add to that. I mean, I think in this industry, I mean, you have a lot of company owners that are trying to do it the old model, and that is, let me just get a bunch of people in here and I'm going to pay them what they think they're worth and we're just going to roll with it. And I think that becomes very difficult on the company owner. Over a few years, the company owners, they start getting weighed down because as their company grows, they start realizing, like, I am the muscle, I'm the battery that generates this thing to constantly push. And I mean, everybody in this room, we have good days and we have bad days. And it's really difficult as an owner to sit there and push and promote and motivate a bunch of people in front of you if you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or whatever the case is, right? And so in this model that we've chosen to roll with and many other successful ones, like how you were doing things, I think it makes it a lot easier because we can be a lot more transparent with our people and we can show them, look, we're human just like you. There's nothing special about us. We work our ass off. Yeah. We do everything we can, but we're very honest, we're very transparent, and we're constantly trying to make a better life for us, meanwhile making the best decision possible to make a better life for you. And I think the respect in that from the people that work for these organizations goes a lot further, and you don't have to feel like you're dying if you're the guy that's having a bad month because your team's going to carry you at that point.
Yeah.
Opposed to the old school model where, and if you're down, your whole company starts going down real quick, you know. So I just wanted to add that in there. I think that's one of the real main benefits to operating a model like this opposed to the old way.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you can kind of compare it to like people in the military when they go into the military and you ask them, you know, when they're back from wherever they were, they did tours and you ask them why they did it, and it was never about the country or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's always kind of, I did it for the man beside me. And when you build a company around doing it for the guy that's beside you, doing it for the people that work with us, it's a whole nother level of respect that everybody has for each other. And like you said, I mean, you can have a bad day and know that the guy beside you is going to carry you or is going to pick up the slack for you that day. And it's not all about just the bottom dollar, the revenue. It's where can this guy and myself go in the future? How many more people can we bring in this and build up together and go to the next level together in the same vehicle? And I think that's kind of a good way to compare it, is think of it that way, is kind of, we're all here doing it for each other. And if we can keep that mindset and more companies can develop that mindset instead of just thinking about the bottom dollar, they'll get a lot further.
It's a legacy mindset. That's all I keep hearing. Like, this is a legacy.
Yeah.
Like, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. Your companies are bigger than you. Like, everything is about the people around you and building that team and leaving a legacy. That if you remove this person from the equation, this thing will still grow.
Yep.
You know, no matter what happens, like we it's not about us. It's about building that legacy and building that team that's going to sustain for years to come.
Yeah. And I know this is like serious talk, but I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta have fun too. You know, we're always having fun, right? You walked in, I was about ready to hit the air horn on you, but I didn't get it quick enough.
It's right there.
You know, so I mean, I'm sure you have fun. You know, we have fun around here. I know you have fun, but you know, just trying to stay away from the standard mentality of it's work, I think is important as well, right? Like, you know, our people get to come here. We get to come here, right? We don't have to come here and they don't have to come here. And when you transition to, oh, I have to go to work, to I get to go do this, I get to go talk to customers, I get to go sign a contract, I get to cash this $10,000 check today. You get to do things, it's a whole different world opposed to when you feel like you have to do things. And so that's been a big thing with us. Like even a play on words, like we really try to stress that to everybody here and ourselves. Like we constantly have to remind ourselves. You know, even my 10-year-old daughter, she'll correct me. You know, I'm like, oh, I have to go to work for a couple hours. You know, I'll be back. I promise, and we'll do this when I get home. She's like, what do you mean you have to go to work? And I'm like, you got me. You got me. You know, so it's also a daily thing. Just trying to constantly think better, live better, have a better mindset, be better for yourself, but also more importantly for other people around you. You know, make them better as well. So I think that's a huge thing in this industry, and man, it's good because honestly, I'm starting to see that more and more in this industry now. You know, and I love that.
It's coming to the top. Like it's definitely becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
And those that aren't about that are becoming more and more evident as well.
Yeah.
And this is what attracts people. This is what allows people to grow. We haven't had that in the past. The only reason people come work in the roofing industry, the insurance restoration industry, was the thought of this is a big money industry.
Yeah.
It's a place to make money fast. And don't get me wrong, you can make plenty of money in this industry, and you can make it pretty fast. But at the end of the day, like at what cost? And this changes that equation. This is the new wave, the next version of our industry. It's so much more appealing, and it's attracting so much outside attention like never before. And it's exciting to watch. It's so cool to see. And you guys are a beacon of that here in East Texas, that's for sure.
East Texas, baby.
East Texas.
Tiny woods.
Yes, sir. But thank you guys for giving us a tour. Let us check out the facilities, the supply house, all the stuff you're doing. We've had you guys over at the ACS studio before, but now to get to come out here and see all of this stuff, this is cool, man. And I really appreciate our friendship and you guys letting us do that.
Thanks for coming out.
I'm happy and excited you guys came out, man. I've been waiting for a while.
And Hunter,
You guys finally made it.
thank you for coming out too, man, and hanging out with us today, man.
I enjoyed it. I just hope I get to see the monkey at some point.
Oh yeah,
We'll see
we're working on it.
Look for the outtakes from the monkey.
It's on its way here.
It's on its way.
All right, Sandy, we're out.
Thanks so much for watching today's show. Make sure to like and subscribe our pages so that you can stay up to date with every episode. And by the way, this show is all about you, the American contractor. Be sure to comment, let us know what you want to hear about and what subjects you want us to touch on. We'll be sure to include them in a future episode. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day.